Mozart's Marriage of Figaro, Le Nozze di Figaro, is written in Italian, just one of the numerous languages a soprano needs to be able to sing in.
It's an unstressed vowel preceding the stress addition.
Today, language coach Bob Cowart is helping Layla with her Italian pronunciation.
Just tell her about the open O's, because we're going to go into this.
The Italian version of open O is absolutely magical.
Yes.
And the word is not ricordo with these muscles pulling down, but ricordo.
Ricordo.
Yeah.
So let's do Porge Amor. Are we ready?
The main challenge of Porge Amor is to simplify the technique. I would ask the singer to just breathe and sing.
Stop there. I know that's where you'd say it right there. Tesoro. It's tesoro, not Zorro.
Right,
yes,
right.
And
I
it's
want to pull down on that. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
it's tesoro. Just smile. Say tesoro, and it's the moment you just do that lovely wide smile, and just let everything just drop. I think you might achieve it.
Yes.
It's just do that phrase before, and then you'll sound authentic. Now smile. Do you like that? Yes, that's more like it. And suddenly, and there's nothing much to do.
Yeah.
You made
much
it actually
easier.
simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's more beautiful.
Okay.
The next one.
Oh.
Yes, it's and whenever in doubt, just smile.
Oh.
Yes.
That's 1,000 times easier. 1,000 times.
Yes. Well,
All those
and it
O's
looks.
are pulling me down.
Yeah.
Young singers at the very start of their careers need to check that their voices are in the best possible shape. We call the voice our instrument. It just happens to be inside us. So I visited my New York voice consultant, Dr. Slavitt, to find out more about how it works.
Strobe machine.
Our brave volunteer is Joanne Foote, who, like me, is from New Zealand.
Just hold this here so we'll pick up the vibration of the vocal cords. Just want you to open your mouth and stick your tongue out.
Just relax.
Good. Say A.
A.
Good. Say E.
A.
Hold it longer. E.
The strobe light slows the image down, allowing us to see the movement of the vocal cords. They're actually vibrating hundreds of times faster than this.
Good. Then raise the pitch.
Dr. Slavitt is looking for any evidence that the vocal cords are being subjected to undue stress or inflammation.
As the cords lengthen and thin and are stretched to, similar to a guitar string getting thinner and trying to stretch it to go higher, does it get too tight where the surface no longer can vibrate?
Yes.
do you get too tense where all of a sudden there's no flexibility? The chords are actually opening and closing and colliding, and that's a lot of trauma or contact between these mucosal surfaces, and if the technique and effort is not proper, that can be a lot of injury and strain to the tissue, causing swelling. Singing as a professional is the same as an athlete in a professional sport.
So this is when I've encouraged all young singers to visit the doctor. To see a really, really excellent ear, nose and throat doctor is part of what we do.
In the depths of the Metropolitan Opera, there's a wonderful archive where you can find out about the great singers of the past, such as the famous Italian soprano, Luisa Tetrazzini. She created a minor scandal in 1926 when she married a man 30 years her junior. She was known as the Queen of Song, renowned for the flexibility of her voice and an incredible mastery of runs and trills. She was in her heyday in the 1920s.
A lovely portrait of her.
I love looking at all the memorabilia. Sometimes photos are all you have, but I think it's important for any singer to be aware of the wonderful legacy they inherit. This is the only piece of film there is of Tetrazzini actually singing. At this point, she had already retired, but you can see that she's still absolutely lost in the music, and interestingly, she's singing along to a recording of the great tenor Caruso. The age of the gramophone had arrived, revolutionizing the way that the human voice was heard. And one of the greatest sopranos of the time was ready to make the most of it.
This is a portrait of Dame Nellie Melba. She was Australia's first greatest diva. She changed her name from Mitchell to Melba in honour of her hometown Melbourne. And of course now we have Melba toast and we have Peixe Melba.
Here she is in London in the 1920s, helping to make an all-Australian Christmas cake as a gift for the Duke and Duchess of York. But of course the really important thing about her was her voice. Its incredible clarity is well preserved on these old recordings. She became an international star, and as the Met Archive demonstrates, it seems that she was also an astute businesswoman.
So this is the paybook for Nellie Melba, 1900-1901. Per performance, $1,850.
It's a lot of money. I mean, I can't imagine the singer's earning that amount in this house now. Is there any tax in there?
Yes.
Agents' fees?
I'm sure.
State tax, federal tax, unions
Yes.
tax? So she'd come out with what? $1,000?
Maybe.
That's amazing.
Whatever would keep her
But
happy
what is
and
it- what is
signing on for the roster the next season.
But she's not only doing Romeo and Juliet. Is that her again?
Yes.
She's doing Faust. She does on the 12th, Monday the 12th of November, she does Romeo and Juliet. Then she does on the 15th of November, she does Faust. Then Bohème, Traviata, Bohème, Lucia, Bohème, Romeo, Faust, Romeo. And I say all the singers are overworked here, and I'm saying, oh, maybe we should shut up. Don't you think?
They were working very hard. This was, a real company. They had a small roster of singers, and they were just doing numerous things every week.
She travelled in diva style. If you look at the paperwork on her contract, it was 2 port-to-port first-class cabins plus 2 second-class cabins. And so she established the word, I think, diva and all the behaviour that went with it. The words, I am Melba, would explain just about everything about her.
But there's one name in particular which comes to mind when we think of the great sopranos of the past. Famous both on and off the stage, Maria Callas. Here she is, casting her spell as that fiery temptress, Carmen.
She revolutionized opera and the art of opera and acting. I suppose the role that I found the most telling and the most poignant was her Traviata. And it was normally the recording I listened to way back was the one that was a live recording. It was amazingly committed.
Callas brilliantly captures the tragedy of her character, the young girl Violetta, as she gradually dies.
As the opera goes on, the coloring of the voice should have been a little more tired. The critic said that Callas in Traviata appeared to us tired.
In the last act?
Generally.
Generally, yes.
Yes, and especially in the last act. This was a compliment for me because I struggled so hard to find this particular quiet, rather little tired quality that I wanted, and it took a long time to have it. And it's dangerous
Yes.
work also, because it's like on a little thread that can break from one minute to the other, the sound you want. When one wants to find a gesture, when you want to find how to act on stage, all you have to do is listen to the music. The composer has already seen to that. If you take the trouble to really listen, you will find every gesture there.
This production of Tosca in 1964 is considered to be one of the greatest operatic moments of the 20th century. It's rather poignant that the character Tosca is herself an opera singer. In her moving aria, Visi d'arte, she sings, "I lived for art, I lived for love." You feel as if Callas is singing straight from her own heart. Callas worked on Tosca with the director Franco Zeffirelli, and their partnership was legendary.
It was like a first time, not of Maria Callas, of that opera. In the rehearsals of Tosca, Maria sometimes rehearsed practically without singing. She was holding on to her own vision. In fact, in her aria, she does a kind of very careful, merciless analysis of her art position.
I was aware of Callas, I remember, as a child, on the radio, only on the radio though, and I was aware of the way that made me feel when she sang. It hit me physically, the sound. It wasn't always pleasant to listen to, but it was always extraordinary to experience.
She had this reputation of being terrifically difficult. I think she was very, very demanding, there's no doubt about that, but I think she was also a supreme professional, and a lot of people who worked with her thought she was absolutely wonderful.
At the beginning of her career, Callas was not the sylph-like creature she later became. She moulded herself into an elegant, slender figure who also became a fashion icon and modern diva.
There is a difference in the quality of the voice before she lost the weight. It was a prettier voice, but it was a lesser voice. This was